Hey guys, seniors. This video is for disco. I hope you're all doing well under these circumstances. I know I haven't posted a video in a while, but I hope that you guys checked out all the previous ones and will continue checking out all the disco videos as they come online. I'm thinking of all of you. We're making plans, for some sort of ceremony for you guys, like at the end of the year, virtual, of course. And again, my heart's with you guys, because I know this is a difficult period just in general, but especially senior year in high school, and to lose all these to lose all the important events of the last few months. Please keep in touch. I always like hearing from you. A lot of you guys have been sending messages and stuff, so please keep doing that because I really want to know how all of you are doing. All right, so we're going to start today talking about the Monica Lewinsky scandal. Now, this is for some reason the thing that a lot of people remember about the second semester of disco. I think it's not only because of the sordid nature of what happened, but I think now it's especially relevant because I know it seems like ancient history because of everything that's been going on with the pandemic, but this was we just impeached a president a few months ago, right? 4 months ago, President Trump was impeached, and 22 years earlier, we impeached a president too. Bill Clinton was impeached for lying under oath about whether he had sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky. Now, this is not something, honestly, that's looked back on fondly, even by conservatives who don't like Bill Clinton, because a lot of people looking back on this, and a lot of people said it at the time too, but think that really did we just do this? Did we? Was the president of the United States impeached because about whether oral sex counts as sex? Because that's basically what happened. So I'm going to give you a lot of background on what happened in the Monica Lewinsky situation with Bill Clinton, how this dragged out and how this dominated American life in 1998. I remember this very, very well. Literally, our country really kind of ground to a halt. Not much really was going on in public life in 1998 except coverage of the Monica Lewinsky scandal and whether Bill Clinton had sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky or not. And, it became one giant circus, and it really paralyzed our country in 1998, and then it bled a little bit to 1999 as well for Bill Clinton's impeachment trial. But the whole thing was just one big sordid mess. So let's start talking about it now. One of the most important contexts we can have when we're talking about the Monica Lewinsky situation was the fact that people who conservatives who didn't like Bill Clinton, they despised Bill Clinton. It was deep and it was visceral, and sometimes it was illogical. Bill Clinton was not a liberal Democrat by any means. We've talked about that at length in the past few weeks and months. Right? Bill Clinton was a new Democrat. He was a moderate Democrat. Right? He still was a Democrat. Raised taxes, wanted universal health care, things like that. But raised taxes on the rich. But there's something about Bill and Hillary Clinton that just got people. I think my own theory is that for a lot of conservatives, they just reminded them or triggered in them their hatred of a lot of the changes that took place in American life in the 1960s. They felt that the Clintons were kind of the triumph of the counterculture. Hillary Clinton was a feminist. She was very outspoken. Bill Clinton had sometimes just, a lot of issues revolving affairs with women that he always seemed to kind of escape from. Sometimes he was seen as a little slippery in his language. So for a lot of conservatives, the Clintons represented the erosion of all the values, the erosion of all the values that they had cherished that began in the 1960s. And for them, the Clintons were kind of the culmination of that. But to be fair, the Clintons sometimes did give a lot of, especially Bill, did give ammunition to a lot of their political opponents, right? The reason why the email scandal with Hillary was so damaging in 2016 was because it triggered a lot of people's memories of the 1990s when they felt the Clintons were always up to something. They were never being straight with the American people. So that's why that was so damaging. That accusation did not happen in a vacuum. It happened in the context of memories of the 1990s. Now, when the Monica Lewinsky situation first broke, Hillary Clinton gave an interview where she said on the Today Show, where she said the allegations were not true, and she said it was just part of a vast right-wing conspiracy that had been out to get her husband since the beginning, since as soon as he became president. Once it was proven that Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton did have a sexual relationship, a lot of people just said, look at Hillary, she had no idea what she was talking about, because this wasn't a vast right-wing conspiracy. He really was doing something with Monica Lewinsky. But basically, I think that what she was saying was correct. Yes, yes, it was true what happened with Monica Lewinsky, but basically, for 5 years of Bill Clinton's administration, there have been nonstop investigations of his conduct, his personal conduct, his business conduct, his political career. It was nonstop in conservative media. It was they constantly talked about it, like how Bill Clinton was a liar and was shady and immoral and all of that. It was nonstop. If you were in the conservative echo chamber in the 1990s, it was almost unavoidable. This visceral hatred of Bill Clinton, these attacks on Bill Clinton, that were constantly coming in from the right wing. There were also constant legal investigations of the Clintons, and not just Clintons themselves, also a lot of members of their cabinet, the HUD secretary, the agriculture secretary, the labor secretary were all subject to criminal investigations, none of which actually ever landed with any prison time. So the thing is that it was this constant air of scandal around the Clintons. A little bit of it was real, but a lot of it was just pumped up by right wing media and right wing lawyers. Now, the leader of this campaign to investigate Bill Clinton, of course, was Kenneth Starr. Kenneth Starr was the prosecutor who'd been spending 4 years investigating Bill Clinton's business life and then later his political conduct. Originally, Ken Starr was appointed to be the prosecutor investigating Whitewater. That was this land deal that Bill and Hillary Clinton had been involved in Arkansas with a couple, James and Susan McDougal, and the allegation was that Bill Clinton used his power as president to pressure a bank to give an illegal loan to his real estate investment. And that was the beginning of the investigation. Years and years of investigation. A lot of side players got charged with some involvement in Whitewater. Hillary Clinton was called before a grand jury the first time a first lady. I think the only time a first lady had ever had to had that situation. But no charges ever came out against Hillary with regard to Whitewater, and nothing was really ever really stuck to Bill Clinton either, with regard to the Whitewater scandal. So that was what Starr was originally investigating, but then the investigation started going into all other areas. They began investigating Bill Clinton's dealings as president, the fact that a lot of members of the White House Travel Office have been fired, and what was that all about? Then mysterious appearance of 900 FBI files of Republicans in the White House. Like, why did that happen? So Ken Starr's investigation started with Whitewater, but then started branching off into a lot of these other areas. But it was increasingly looking like a fishing expedition. Like, they kept investigating, but nothing really was found. Now, Starr, though, hit pay dirt with the Monica Lewinsky situation. Now, let's talk about how anybody even came to know about that. Now, one of the legal dramas that Bill Clinton was dealing with was the fact that he had been sued for sexual harassment by a woman named Paula Jones. Paula Jones claimed that when he was governor of Arkansas, he pulled down his pants in front of called Paula Jones up to his room, pulled down his pants, and told her to kiss it. And Paula Jones said that she did not. and ultimately sued Bill Clinton for sexual harassment as a result of this encounter. Um, Clinton claimed that he couldn't be sued because he was the president, but the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 that a president does not have immunity from lawsuits, which is something that's going to come up, or maybe has come up already with regard to all of Trump's appeals with regard to all the lawsuits surrounding him. So the Jones case proceeded, but it was basically taken over by right-wing lawyers who felt that this lawsuit was kind of a way to embarrass Bill Clinton, or worse, to really like go after Bill Clinton. In fact, one of the Paula Jones lawyers said, "We're going to get that slime ball." So you can see, like, it was just like so visceral the way a lot of these, people on the right wing felt about Bill Clinton. Now, Clinton offered to settle the lawsuit, admit no wrongdoing, for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Paula Jones's lawyers would not take the settlement because I think for a lot of them, the goal was to draw this out as long as possible in order to somehow impact Bill Clinton politically, and embarrass him or whatever. So the lawsuit proceeded. Now, Jones claimed she could describe Clinton's penis, which was like really embarrassing because how is that going to be proven? And Jones his side had a witness list of all the people that, they were planning to call, in their lawsuit when deposition started. And on the witness list was a woman named Monica Lewinsky. And I'm sure when Bill Clinton saw that, it was like, oh my God, like how did her name get there and how do they know? So this is what began the whole year-long spectacle with Monica and Bill. All right, now a little about Monica Lewinsky. Monica Lewinsky was a 21-year-old White House intern in 1995 in the White House. And the thing is that the relationship culminated with, well, not culminated, began when there was a party in the White House, somebody's birthday party. They ordered a bunch of pizzas. And Bill Clinton wasn't at the party because he was working. Monica Lewinsky apparently brought him in a piece of pizza. They began talking dirty. She showed Bill Clinton her thong, and then she performed oral sex on President Clinton. So this was the beginning of a 16-month relationship. Bill Clinton said it wasn't a sexual relationship because it just involved oral sex. And I know that sounds like, ooh, but like literally that was the heart of the whole charge ultimately against Bill Clinton about, he said it was not sexual relations because it was just oral sex, while Clinton's opponent said, well, yes, it is sex. And he said he didn't have it with Monica, so he's lying, he's committing perjury, that's an impeachable offense. So the definition of sex actually became like really relevant to the way that the Monica Lewinsky situation proceeded. The relationship continued for 16 months. It was on again, off again. Sometimes he broke it off, but then he called her back. What happens sometimes in these kind of relationships, small gifts were exchanged. He bought her a hat pin, and he bought her a book of poetry, Leaves of Grass, which apparently is what he had bought Hillary 20 years earlier when they were courting. So it was starting to get a little bit weird in the White House. Like, why is Monica Lewinsky always in there with the president? So Monica ultimately was transferred to another position. She got a job as in the Pentagon. With our Defense Department, and then ultimately got a job in New York in Revlon makeup, which Bill Clinton's friend Vernon Jordan actually had gotten for her. So she went from the White House. Then, because of the suspicion or what was going on, she was transferred to the Pentagon, and then ultimately went to Revlon. Now, I guess the ultimate question is, why would Bill Clinton basically risk everything in order to have these sexual romps with Monica? Like, why? Especially when he knew so many people were out to get him politically, and also when he had this reputation as being an adulterer, right? Like, it was very, very reckless behavior, and it could certainly fault Bill Clinton for that. Plus, even though this didn't really come up that much at the time, but I think, we have different attitudes about a lot of these things today. And I think if this had happened today, it would generally be seen as not just a consensual affair, that it was somehow that it was worse than that. The fact that there was almost a 30-year age difference between Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, the fact that she was an intern in a subordinate position, so it was a certain power dynamic, at work. Was his behavior predatory? This has actually become a lot of right wingers felt that in the 90s because they didn't like Clinton. A lot of liberals, though, kept silent. And I think if this had happened, certainly in the Me Too era, that a lot of people would have thought differently on the left about what went down with Bill and Monica Lewinsky. You hear that sometimes now, that Bill Clinton is a sexual predator because of what happened with Monica. Now, two women besides Lewinsky were ultimately instrumental in actually letting this all blow up. Now, Monica Lewinsky, when she moved to the Pentagon, she became good friends with a woman named Linda Tripp. Linda Tripp just passed away a few weeks ago, actually. And it was in the news, maybe you caught it. But Linda Tripp had worked in the White House previously, but then was working in the Pentagon, and that's where she met Monica, when Monica got this job in the Pentagon. Linda Tripp was a conservative Republican. She despised the Clintons, actually had said that many times. She was loved President Bush Sr., felt he was a gentleman, a great president. And the thing is, when Monica and Linda Tripp became friends, Monica brought up the fact that she was having a sexual relationship with Bill Clinton. Now, Linda Tripp listened as Monica told her these stories, which, oftentimes they were often, kind of adolescent, like, why isn't he calling me? Should I break it off? Blah, blah, blah. So the thing is that, that Linda Tripp was listening to her friend Monica tell her all about her sexual relationship with Bill Clinton. Also, there was a huge age difference there. Linda Tripp was about 25 years older than Linda Tripp was 25 years older than Monica Lewinsky. So it was almost I would think almost like a mother figure. I'm playing Dr. Freud here, but it was somebody she was certainly, sharing felt comfortable enough sharing her, her deepest secret with, the fact that she was having an affair with the president. Now, like all good friends, Linda Tripp, when Monica began telling her about her relationship with Bill Clinton, contacted a conservative literary agent, a woman named Lucianne Goldberg. Now, for advice, what should I do about, the fact that this girl who I'm working with is telling me that she's sleeping with the president? Now, Lucianne Goldberg told Linda Tripp to tape record all her phone conversations with Monica Lewinsky, which she did. She then gave those tape recordings of her phone conversation with Monica to Lucianne Goldberg, who then contacted, because she had connections with the right-wing the right-wing world, she then contacted Paula Jones' lawyers and told them, well, I have tapes of a woman who's friends with a woman who's having a sexual relationship with Bill Clinton. Goldberg also told Linda Tripp to contact Kenneth Starr. Remember, the prosecutor who's been investigating Bill Clinton for 4 years and really has not really come up with much of anything. Now, Starr had actually been, as a side investigation, had actually been looking at some stuff with Bill Clinton's personal life and his sexual life for over a year. And with these tapes that Linda Tripp had made of Monica Lewinsky talking about her relationship with Bill Clinton, Ken Starr potentially had a case against Bill Clinton for perjury, because Monica Lewinsky was going to be, because we talked about in the beginning, Monica Lewinsky was going to be called in front of the grand jury, in front of it was going to give a deposition in the Paula Jones lawsuit, as was Bill Clinton, because he was the one being sued. And if both of them denied having a sexual relationship, but then he has these tapes that Linda Tripp had made of Monica actually saying they had a sexual relationship, then potentially Ken Starr would have a case against Bill Clinton for perjury or for suborning perjury, for making Monica Lewinsky lie. Now, Starr told Linda Tripp to meet Monica somewhere. So they met for lunch at a hotel, and she was wearing a wire, where she basically recorded what Monica said in the in this lunch that they had. Linda Tripp later said that Monica was acting a little bit cagey and weird because maybe she was suspecting that something was a little off. Monica and Bill Clinton both testified in the Paula Jones lawsuit that they did not have a sexual relationship. And the thing is that ultimately, after this meeting, I think it was only a couple days after this lunch between Monica Lewinsky and Linda Tripp, Ken Starr's men got accosted Monica Lewinsky in a shopping mall. They took her to the security office of the shopping mall, and they began interrogating her. Apparently, she sobbed for 90 minutes. Asked to call her mom about this, about what was going on. And the thing is that it just became some really really ugly thing where Ken Starr's men were basically threatening prison time for Monica Lewinsky if she didn't admit that she had a sexual relationship with Bill Clinton. And had apparently lied about it when questioned by Paula Jones' lawyers. Now, these tapes that Linda Tripp had made, were of her phone conversations, were now also in the hands of Newsweek magazine. So once so these Linda Tripp kind of got around, give it Lucianne Goldberg, then Ken Starr, then Paula Jones' lawyers, then Newsweek magazine. So everybody's kind of getting hold of these tapes that Linda Tripp had made against her friend. Now, excuse me, Monica had already denied having a sexual relationship with Bill Clinton. Now it was Clinton's turn to testify in the Jones case, and Bill Clinton's lawyer told Hillary apparently they didn't lay a glove on him. So little did he know. Now, Jones's lawyers began asking Bill Clinton questions about Monica Lewinsky's visits to the White House and any gifts that he had given to her. Were you ever alone with Monica Lewinsky? They asked him. Did you have sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky? And Bill Clinton denied all of these things. Said he did not have sexual relations with Monica, and he didn't give her any gifts, and nothing untoward had happened. Now, later on, Bill Clinton said he was being accurate because they never did have sexual intercourse. That it was just oral sex, and sex with phone sex with objects. So it never was actually intercourse. So he actually insisted that he hadn't lied in the Paul Jones deposition when he said he didn't have sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky. Newsweek magazine had a hold of these tapes. They refused to publish them, perhaps because they were just so racy. But the Drudge Report, which is a right-wing website, did publish them. The Drudge Report is actually still around to this day. So now it was out there. All right, guys. So we'll stop now. In our next video, we'll continue talking about this whole saga, because now it's public. So how's Bill Clinton going to deal with all of this? And what's the American public going to feel about these revelations? All right, guys. So thinking of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.